In a previous movie, we defined the spacing for the home grid, and we learned about the difference between major and minor grid lines. We saw that due to the default color scheme, it's very difficult to differentiate between the major and minor grid lines. So let's customize the colors of the viewport and the grid lines. Go to the Customize menu and choose Customize User Interface. In the Customize User Interface dialog, go to the Colors tab. And at the top, we have a pull-down list that's labeled Viewports. And in the section below it, we can scroll down until we find the viewport background. Select that, and now we see displayed the color currently assigned to the viewport background. Notice the difference between that color swatch and the viewport background itself. This is an artifact of the gamma correction of the display in 3ds Max. This color swatch is actually not accurate. You're going to have to experiment a little bit in order to get the viewport background color you want. Click on the swatch and the color selector launches, and we can change the value here, but we won't see anything change here. We need to define a value and then click Apply Colors Now. I've already experimented, so I know that I want a value of 100. So I'll just highlight that value field and type in a value of 100. Click OK, and then click Apply Colors Now. The viewport background has been changed, and we can navigate around in the view. I'll dolly back with the mouse wheel, and now it's really clear. We can see the major grid lines are darker than the minor grid lines. Let's also customize that color. Back in the Customize User Interface dialog, we've got our Colors tab selected. From the Elements pull-down list, we want to choose Grid Lines. So here's Grids. Select Grids. And then we have Set by Color and Set by Intensity. Set by Intensity is actually easier to work with, so I'm going to do that. Once again, I already know what I want, so I'm just going to plug it in, give it an intensity value of 90. And click Apply Colors Now. And now we've got a much clearer indicator of our grid spacing. These have been made a bit darker. We can save this currently. If we exit out of 3ds Max and relaunch it, we will get these colors once again. If 3ds Max crashes or exits unexpectedly, then this might not get saved, so we can save it explicitly. Down at the bottom of the Customize User Interface dialog, we have a Save button. Click on that, and we're taken to a very mysterious folder. And if we go to this Save In pull-down list and just select that, we can see it's saving into the Program Files, Autodesk, 3ds Max, English US, UI folder. And we have a default file name of maxstartui.clrx. And that's the 3ds Max file format for interface colors. Notice that there's already one in here labeled Default UI. And that is, as the name indicates, the default user interface colors. We don't want to overwrite that in case we wanted to get back to the default colors. And so, helpfully, the file name has been entered in here as maxstartui. And because it's labeled Max Start UI, that means the next time we launch 3ds Max, this color scheme will be invoked, not the default one. So I'll click Save, and that's been stored, and I can close the Customize User Interface dialog. And that's how to change up the colors of the viewport background and the grid lines.